Hey, thanks for dropping by to the Planners on Purpose podcast, created by Naomi Tucker, CMP. Now, this space is for the event planners to encourage and empower you so that you can fully live your life on purpose. So before we dig in, please take a moment to subscribe so you get future shows. Now, here she comes, your host, Naomi.
Well, hi, everyone. This is Naomi Tucker. Thank you so much for being with me today. Always a pleasure to come and really just share my thoughts with you all. It's very just comforting to know that you're on the other side there listening and you actually care about just matters of the heart, matters of event planning, and really being intentional and being purposeful about how we plan events and treat each other. So today I wanted to come and share with you just a little bit about kindness. Today is Global World Kindness Day. And I wanted to just say happy World Kindness Day to you. People for all over the world are really talking about kindness and showing their kindness to each other. And we've talked about kindness here on the podcast a few times. And we know that kindness definitely can make an impact while we're planning events and as we're relating to one another in the workspace. But I wanted to definitely share some additional facts with you about kindness that maybe you don't know. But first, I wanted to just take you back to a really interesting thing that happened to me this weekend. So this weekend, my family was visiting. My sister, she actually was visiting from across the country. We had a really good time and we went out for brunch and we wanted to just do something impromptu and perhaps go to an escape room. So we looked up if the escape rooms are available. And when we looked on their website or on our phone, it said that, hey, the escape room was available. So we were excited. It probably was going to be starting in about maybe an hour or two. So we figured since the escape room was literally around the corner from where we had brunch, we would just walk over there, see what times were available. Shouldn't had changed much because we were literally 5 minutes away. And we would just book something for within the next couple hours because we had some time to kill, right? Well, we got there and it was not just me and her, it was me and my whole family. And there was not anyone at the desk. It was just empty. You could hear noises happening in the background, but not really necessarily anyone hearing that there was a rustle of more than 4 or 5 people in the lobby coming out to greet, right? A couple of members of our party had to find a restroom, so they kind of went back to see if they could still find anyone. Nope, we weren't able to find anyone. Maybe about 4 to 5 minutes later, there's a gentleman that walks in the door and it looks like he was going to head straight back, but he did see us over to the right-hand side and he just said, hey, have you been helped yet? Which I thought was very nice of him to look over just to see if we had been helped. And we said no. We told him what our situation was, that we had a few hours and wanted to get something booked. We had a particular one that showed that it was wide open on the website. Well, as soon as he started to really try to help us, his colleague comes from the back and shoots over, and she was just like, no, we can't take anyone anymore. No, we can't. No, we can't. Nope, we're all booked. And she did not look at us and talk to us. She was just really talking to her colleague. And then she walked right away. She walked away and told him to come with her. Very interesting interaction. So immediately we all were just trying to figure out, okay, well, what should we do next? And we just were there in the lobby just trying to figure out what our next move is, because again, we knew that this was impromptu. We knew that we were just kind of seeing what's in the area and what we can do. But the gentleman came back out less than a minute or so later, and he said, are you all still trying to figure out what you need to do? And he literally was going through some of the openings that were available for us. And then he also gave us some alternatives with other escape rooms in the area, which was really nice. So although he was not able to take us like right then and there, I believe they were short staffed. We completely understood. He was so kind in just sharing what was available to us and any alternatives, and really just was so super helpful. So that was just so much appreciative, which was a totally different experience than his colleague. I think both people had us feeling two different ways. I think when the woman came out and she was just saying, no, 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 and she was very brash, very harsh, we felt just some type of way about her lack of kindness in the issue. And then the gentleman was absolutely totally different. We walked away feeling warm, feeling just ready to do the next thing. And I think that all just goes to say that a little bit of kindness does go a long way. And so on today and on Kindness Day, I just wanted to share just some simple facts on what kindness does and what it doesn't do. So as you can see, just from my example alone, this woman really being very harsh and very short and not necessarily concerned about the customer in front of her, it created some stress. It created just some disconnect with us. And those are the things that when you do have a lack of kindness, it does within a person. So a lack of kindness, what it does is it creates stress. It creates anxiety, and it also creates aggression, depression, and a social disconnect, right? So those are the things that happens when you don't have kindness. Now think about it. If somebody cuts you off in the middle of a busy street, how do you feel? You probably feel a little stressful and you feel some type of social disconnect, right? Now, on the other hand, kindness definitely improves certain things when you leverage it and use it. It improves your relationships, the social connection that you have, your happiness. Kindness in general makes us more happy. When we left that escape room, regardless if we booked or not, we were just happy. It creates more energy. We want to be around people that increases our energy and not people that zap our energy. And it also improves our mental and heart health, life satisfaction, our overall well-being. And you know what? If we have kindness and if we are kind, it contributes to a longer life. So, wow, kindness is something that we all should have a little bit more of. I wanted to share a couple other things and then I will let you be for today. But when we talk about kindness, there definitely is something that occurs when we are kind. And it's like, what is it about kindness that definitely helps improve our lives? And it has to do with elevated levels of oxytocin and dopamine that we do get when we are kind and when we receive kindness. And when you have those things, it does tremendous amount of goodness in your life. So for example, if you have oxytocin, it helps it slows down the aging process. So typically by receiving kindness and showing your kindness, you can slow down the aging process, and it reduces also high levels of the free radicals and inflammation to your cardiovascular system. Wow, right? So the kindness is something we definitely want to do. And when speaking of the cardiovascular system, when you have that emotional warmth that is produced by being kind and receiving kindness, that oxytocin, is released, and it's released in the brain and the body. And because of that, it expands your blood vessels, which really helps lower your blood pressure, which is also an interesting fact too. So I know specifically that there are many event professionals out there that really are battling high blood pressure. It's because we have to deal with a tremendous amount of pressure consistently all the time. So much of this can also be relieved in how we interact with people. And it's nice to know that when we have kindness on our side, it's doing that great work to help lower some of that blood pressure. And then we have joy. Just the overall sense of joy is something that also is increased and is elevated. It helps because we get that dopamine in our brain, and that helps lift our spirits too. So those are just some random facts about kindness that I wanted you to know today. And I just felt like if you know a little bit of these things, there's so much more that we can unpack with kindness. And I'm sure we'll have another episode in the future where we really dig into some of these facts. But on this day, it's just important to know that a little bit of kindness goes a very long way. And I hope this was really helpful. I hope you've gotten some little nuggets to be able to share, to be able to apply to your life. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, please stay on purpose.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, hit the like button and tell us how much you enjoyed the show by leaving a message in the comments. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.